Hi everyone, welcome to this new community show. I hope you're all doing well. Today I do have a special co-host, which is Captain Vatuman, our first European co-host. So that's really exciting because we want to expand the game to all regions in the world. We have one server and it's really nice to gather a whole community across the globe. So let's continue to do that and let's speak about the latest news. Let's get started. Hello, Vatuman, Captain Vatuman. I'm very happy to have you in the show. How are you doing?
Thank you very much, and I'm really honored to receive your invitation to the show. And hello, everyone. Thank you very much for having me on your channel. First of all,
Of
really
course,
happy to be here.
this is really cool because we're going to introduce yourself briefly. So, you have started to play Embers Adrift recently, but you are a very long time MMORPG player and enjoyer. So, can you say a little bit more about yourself and how you started to play the game?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I browsed a lot of MMOs, and I have tried to find an experience that aligns with a nice community, some balanced, non-toxic gameplay, let's say, that encourages cooperation rather than high competition. So I tried them all basically right now, and it was very hard to find something that rhymed with what I wanted from a game. And what I wanted from a game was interaction with the community, then the fact that every level counts, and the fact that you don't care about the leveling too much, but rather every experience in the game, it's an adventure in itself. I mean, the gameplay writes itself as you go with it. This is what grabbed me in here a bit. The community is amazing, but at the same time, the fact that the people who play this game, and I don't know how they found each other too much, to be honest, uh, they are not toxic people. I mean, the long-term people, the people who support the game and the community are very helpful, wonderful people, wonderful guys, and they are all mature people, and that's the thing. I think the modern MMO genre attracts all kinds of players, but the more mature people who have actual lives try to search a game that doesn't disturb their emotions too much in a wrong way, or the competitiveness in the game doesn't turn into something toxic. So this game encourages a healthy gameplay, first of all, and then actually I come from a wide area of MMOs. For example, I played a lot of Dark Age of Camelot, played a bit of EverQuest, played a bit of Lineage, the classic one. So almost all of them actually. RuneScape I played a lot, you know. But the fact that you guys developed a game that is low fantasy in a way, as I see it, for me right now, the end game. There was a player in the game saying this, and this is like very nice. For me, the end game is the experience you have that day with the people in the dungeon. That's the end game, because the end game is basically when you want it to be, you know. So even if there are a lot of stuff still to be in development, what you guys have put on together so far with your small team shines very much. And this shows that if you guys would have way more resources, the game would explode and be even more great, you know? So I took a leap of faith with you and this game, that's for sure. I am a common player. There are way better players in the game than I am. But this is my feedback, all right?
That's super cool. Thank you. That's really, really nice because that's exactly what we wanted to create. And that was our main goal. Just what you described right there, to create and foster a nice community. And of course, you can have a nice community in every game, but you also have feature in a game that will encourage that. And that's the road we choose, to have a collaborative, cooperative gameplay rather than a competition gameplay. We wanted people to want to help each other and to win together rather than to, because even if you are not doing any kind of PvP, you can still have some sort of competition in a game. My guild is doing better than your guild. You see, that kind of stuff. And it's just PvE, of course. It's just raid and dungeon and stuff like that. But there's still a kind of competition, which can be fun. But that's not what we wanted to do. We wanted to do something where people will want to help each other and beneficiate from helping each other. And it's just the beginning of our adventure, hopefully. We're going to add much more content about it. But first, let's show a little extract of the content that you are creating. We have introducing you when you just started the game. In the show, we have shown a little extract of your stream in your YouTube video where you have introduced people to the game. And here it's another little clip I steal from your YouTube channel, so let's watch it.
Your accent, where are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm from Romania.
Oh, really? We have friends that, she's from Romania. She goes back, I think she tries to go back every year to see her mom and dad back there. We're kind of hoping that next year that we can go with them.
Beautiful country to visit, for sure.
Yeah, I would love to see it.
The castles are nice in the center of the country. The castles are a high recommendation.
Yeah.
And the monasteries in the north are also very nice to visit.
I don't know where her parents live at. He was the professor at one of the colleges, and I forget what she did.
Hi, it's me, the Battletoad.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Let's go.
Is that Vathiman?
Yep. Hello. Nice to meet you.
So I choose this clip because you were introducing yourself a little bit more, was the group, and we felt this kind of friendly atmosphere through the dungeon run. Do you want to comment on the content you are creating?
Yeah, absolutely. I had some absolutely ridiculous and fun moments. For example, one time, one of the most memorable experiences was when we tried to farm some named mobs for a quest in Meadowlands, somewhere around there, I think. And the tank and I were, everyone was below the levels of the mobs, and we started to cringe the mobs so hard. Actually, the tank was kiting the mobs, everyone was laughing, and we were killing the mobs in the most ridiculous way possible. I stopped my stream at that moment because I laughed so hard at the situation. Also, I had pretty good moments, let's say, with random people that try to help for a certain quest, or for example, some runs when we were very deep in a dungeon, we died 75% deep in that dungeon, and it was excruciating, and we did a lot of jokes until we got our bags back, just to die again to the same boss, which was a blob boss. and we had to do it all over again. Everyone was our gear was destroyed. So we had to pay more attention, even more attention, as our gear was even more destroyed. And yeah, and one of the most weird and fun moments I have with myself, because I had some good moments but also some fun moments in which I did mistakes, like for example, uh, those caves with the bats that control your character.
Yeah.
And I have aggroed a lot of them, because if they cast a confusion spell on you and they control your character, you tend to aggro even more of those, and the situation spirals into craziness, and everyone can wipe because of this. So even if you are like with 2 or 3 persons, if you are under leveled also and you go there, you can wipe very easily. But I had tons of moments like this, but this is because of the players. Another time, for example, I cried on the world chat, "Oh, please help me with a certain camp in Northridge for a quest." And there it came, a barbarian wiped the floor with all the mobs, but we died a few times. But the idea is, people are helpful here, and even if, let's say, they have their own little end game goals, still the community and what the experiences, the little life stories they share with each other, the mistakes that happen in the dungeon. I mean, let me give you an example. If I'm doing a dungeon with different people, the experience will be different. Mistakes will happen at one point. You will underestimate the dungeon because the first mobs usually are very easy, and then as mistakes happen and situation gets a bit more complicated, every dungeon, even if it's a loop, even if you do the same dungeon 10 times, the experience can be 7 out of 10 different, you know. So in my humble opinion, people should not come towards this game with a hunger for content. In my humble opinion, the hunger for content is what kills their own gameplay. No, the content is generated by actual human beings, and that's the adventure. I mean, for example, someone is lost on a map, and I'm trying to explain to them how to get to the dungeon. You know, I never did that before with another player. Someone wiped at a certain entrance, or some guys died trying to get to us. All kinds of small situations like this are the content. Obviously, the content and the gameplay and the items and the bosses and the stories appear, and they will be more added, I hope. But definitely what keeps me engaged and hopeful, because I'm really hopeful for this game, is the beautiful community you guys have created. Because I've been to all the communities in all the games, guys, and I was highly disappointed. And you guys probably, and I'm not gonna, so what I'm saying here is an objective truth, okay? This is potentially one of the best communities in an MMO. It's small, yes, it's niche for sure. But remember, at big trees, not always only good animals go. You know, sometimes where there are big crowds, there is also big noise. You know,
Mhm.
so I will say um, the fact that this is unique. This is very unique to your game. You stay in touch very closely with your community, and this is specific to no other game. I mean, name me a game that is developed at this stage in which the developers keep in touch heart to heart with the community. Obviously, there will be challenges from the community. People will cry about stuff. People will be happy about stuff. But this happens all over the place. Actually, even if the game would be perfect, you will still have people crying about stuff in game and whatnot. You know, so a lot of fun I had. I've made some friends. Some of them were pretty crazy in the good sense, like a tank We had some cringe experiences together for sure in some dungeons. Anyway, yeah. So yeah.
That's really awesome. Thank you very much for your feedback. Now, I do have to ask you a question. What class are you playing? And why do you like it?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I tried to experience the bard class, although it has another name here, warlord. I like the warlord because it reflects a bit the way I am. You know, I play instruments, I study certain things. So the warlord as a bard class is for me this is the signature class of classic MMOs. If an MMO doesn't have something resembling the bard, it lacks the charm a bit. You know, the guy who says jokes, the guy who plays the guitar and gives a buff. You know, it's for me it's very important. So the warlord class, I'm happy about it. I have some DPS. There are some buffs that you give to groups which can be improved. For example, I was ecstatic when a friend in game, who is also a streamer here for this game, helped me reach from +2 to +3 mass healing, which was nice. So I would say the fact that it's a hybrid class that allows me to play alone while also be needed in certain groups is kind of nice. I mean, I'm a jack of all trades. I'm needed everywhere, but at the same time, I'm also independent if there is no group running around and stuff. So warlord for me is you have created a very nice bard class. I will definitely love to see more small stuff added to it. But you know, everyone, even you yourself, you have a preferred class in game, and you have your own ideas about it for sure. You know.
Yes, of course. And what I think one of the particularity of Embers Adrift is also that the game is continuously in development. So we're always tweaking it, polishing it, adding more things. And that's part of the fact that we are a small team. So we could not have a super large game right off the bat. We have to continue to develop it as the game is running live and as the player experiences it and such. So that's also part of it, and I'm pretty sure that there will be little improvement here and there. Speaking of which, let's talk about the patch note and the new content you can expect with this patch at the end of the month. What do you say about that? Are you ready?
Let's go!
Let's do it. So what new content can we expect? I would say there's 3 really important new things that will be added for the game. First of all, we have several solo loop for the Ember Vein. So all Ember Vein should, at the end of this month, have a solo loop to enjoy for solo player or even a duo of player. You can do the solo loop with a duo of player and it's still very fun. There's always a name there that you can solo, play by yourself with really good loot. I will dare to say that it's even overpowered loot, but we're not going to say that too loud, otherwise Adrift is going to make some change. No, I'm kidding, it's not making some change. Then, well, let's see what is written in the patch note, because I don't want to spoil anything. New solo loop, Spiner Recluse, which is the spider Ember Vein in Midland, Derelict Sanctuary, Basilic's Run, Arcos Lair, and Crackscale Cavern. So that's the 5 different Ember Vein that were left to create for you guys, and it will be all there this month. Isn't that exciting?
Wow, I mean, 5 new stuff for this month?
Yeah, 5 solo loop in the 5 last Ember Vein that were missing a solo loop.
Wow, okay. can you tell us something about Arkhol's lair, for example?
Yeah, Arcos Lair is one of the last Ember Vein, so it is one of the end game, and Arcos is one of the world boss, so to speak. It was designed for players to be more than one group to defeat him, but players, of course, find a way of defeating him with just one group. As it was a little funny fact about Arcos. So Arcos is a Drolsk boss. You see the Drolsk that you can meet already in Dryfoot? Those kind of pangolin guys. So it's a Drolsk, and it was our first skull boss. So endgame type of boss. It was also that time where we offer a special title for the first player to reach their class max level. And that title is Arch plus the name of your class. So for example, Nautilius was the first warlord to be max level, so he got the title Arch Warlord. And so Arcos Lairs is Arch something, like, because it's the first world boss, so he has the title Arch as well in his title, which I think it's a fun little thing. A little wink to the community.
All right. So as a world boss, for example, I mean, it is developed right now, or still you guys have to. I mean, what's the level of development with this world boss, for example?
So Arcos, it has been released a few months ago already. So that's the group loop of that Ember Vein. So the solo loop will not include a boss like that. It will just have a normal solo named. But Arcos was the first world boss we did. Now you have 3 more that are roaming in Grizzle Peak. So we have Mammoth, for example, which is those are the bosses that the level 50 are hunting together. They need to be several groups to hunt them. So Arcos is a easier version of that. But we definitively have some plan for special boss encounter that will be very special, but it will be through the whole leveling experience, not exclusively for endgame player. But I am not ready to talk more about that, but it's in development. It's going to be something special. All right, what else do we have? Added the ability to inspect other player equipment. Isn't that nice? Of course, you will be able to disable that if you don't want people to inspect you and you want to keep all your secrets. So don't worry.
Yes, there will be a lot of gatekeeping, like you do not belong to this dungeon if you have these items on you. Sorry.
No, I don't think it will lead to that.
Yeah, I know. I'm joking.
Well, we know other games where it turned out to be that way, but hopefully not here.
Yeah.
I count on you guys to not be that way. All right, let's do it. Can only be done once every 1 second to avoid spamming the server. You can disallow others to inspect you by removing the check mark next to the magnifying glass icon of your equipment page next to your title drop-down. You are sent a notification when someone inspects you. Can be done via chat command /inspect player name if you are within range. So you cannot inspect a guy which is in a different zone than you. You still need to be in range. Once the inspection window is open, it is static. This means that any equipment changes from the target player will not be reflected until you re-inspect them. This also means that if the target player moves away or logs off, you can still view the equipment as long as the window remains open. Currently does not include your torch, tools, or emberstone. The cosmetic slot will appear in the center of the window where the emberstone typically is. All right, so that's a important feature. So I'm curious to see what the chat is thinking about that. The real levy. Oh, inspecting dawn was in the player near you, or you can inspect them through the chat window. So no, the players still need to be near you, even if you activate the command rather than the... So you basically have two ways of inspecting the player, either by clicking on the player or by typing inspect player name. But you still need to be in range of that player. Mr. Coddershire, knowing what I'm wearing under my pant is a secret. Well, you can disable that, so you can keep your secret for yourself.
Really funny, Mr. Coddleshire.
Yeah.
Very funny name too, man.
All right. Let's see the next feature, because we have more. Added non-grid pass auto-loot option to the gameplay menu for known recipe, non-usable recipe not of your professions, non-usable region not of your spec or base role, and basic items excluding recipe and region. So you really can tweak those features and you know, like have some kind of auto-looting thing. Custom looking for group and looking for more nodes can be added to an entry. This feature is not available for trial player, which means you can add some texts when it has been a requested feature since a long time. So you can add some text to your group. For example, you're looking for a group, but you really want to have an Imba super pew pew group. You can add that, only super good player. Or if you're in the contrary, you want to welcome new player, newbie welcome, you can add that kind of things. Obviously, this feature is not available for trial players because we don't really want to have some bad things spam. Not that trial players are obviously bad, that's not what I meant, but you never know when someone can enter your game for free. You don't always know their intention. Therefore, you need to be cautious. Just to not have, go check my OnlyFans page. You know, you don't really want to have that promoted in the looking for group. Fix a layout issue with the looking for group panel when resizing the window. Log window button in the upper right now highlight briefly when a quest, task or tutorial is updated. This is also coming from feedback from a player that basically did miss out and didn't knew how to play, felt that we were not really guiding new players very well, while we do have a tutorial and we do have a tutorial log if you're not paying attention to your tutorial window when it pops in. So we really wanted to find a way to underline the fact that when you have close your window in your tutorial, there's a place where you can look after it. So we try to be more clear with that, to give you the tool for you as a new player to really find the information that you need and not feel completely lost. Map window button in the upper right now highlight briefly when a region or point of interest is discovered. Added a keybind to drag corpse. This will first look to see if you have a corpse within range, and if not, it will select the closest group member back to drag if you have the permissions. This feature has once again limited to prevent server spam. Rename spring water to rainwater. Fix a typo in an NPC emote. Increased respawn rate for 1 chevron dry bone marauder in Dryfoot strongholds. Decrease innate avoidance for bats, emberfly, and spider. So basically, they are nerfed. Added a new icon to items that are in need of repair. This shows when the item have diminished effectiveness, weapon and armor, due to low durability. Allow generic clothes to be used for Grand Torch recipe. Oh, I think that has been requested. Fixed audio filter on Ashen Gaunt. Fix an issue preventing mobs from resetting to their spawn rotation when returning to their spawn points. Improved return behavior of static spawning mobs, the one that does not wander. They will now move more readily and accurately return to their spawn spots. Now very important, added a mail system that allows for sending and receiving mail. This system allows you to also send attachment in the form of items and or money. Finally, you can send those attachments as a cash on delivery. This system is still in the early testing phase and will likely be opened up on QA closer to release. This feature is also not available to trial player for the same usual reason. We have updated the bounty task for hunting common creatures. Those tasks will have an additional objective to hunt for creatures that potentially could respond as the uncommon type. For example, a task that previously asked you to kill 5 sap spider, at times there may be no sap spider spawn, leading to some confusion. So the task has been updated to kill 3 sap spiders and additionally kill 12 of any spider. The goal with this is to ensure there is this affirmation of killing placeholder for the uncommon type as also being intended as part of the task. And working on Unity 2022 update on the back end. So yeah, a little word about this last things I have read. This has been a new feature or a new improvement for Bounty Board Quest due to the meeting we have hosted where we gathered a lot of feedback and we had a lot of discussion with player. So this is directly coming from discussion we have during our weekly meeting the Wednesday. Is there anything... Oh, oops, that's wrong. Anything you want to say about all of this, Captain Vatuman?
First of all, the majority of everything that was added in the patch notes, it's an interaction with the community. I have identified at least half of that in the conversations from the Discord. So I can clearly say, as someone who watches the Discord and browses the conversations to see where the community heads and whatnot, I can clearly say that you guys are really in touch and you are really working on the game based on what the people want. And even if someone is like more bold and saying, man, I want that in the game right now, you guys don't take it personal. You listen to it as an objective thing, and you're trying to, with small steps, go at it. But I want to ask you a question. You nerf some mobs. You nerf the spiders, the bats. Why did you nerf them?
Well, honestly, in all honesty, that's Adrift decision, and he managed that. So I do not know the answer to that. I do not know why. I
like hard mobs. I like mobs that give a challenge to the player. For sure.
I think it will still be challenging, etc. It's probably, well, maybe some people will find it too easy, but I don't think so. I think it's really, or maybe there was a bug. I don't know. Honestly, I do not know why Adrift has done that, but our intention generally with the game is not to make the game super easy. It's still important to us that the game present a challenge. We want it to be gradually challenging so the players, when they first enter the game, are not completely discouraged by the difficulty of the game, and so it ramp up step by step as you progress through the game. So sometimes that's being adjusted, but there's also some specific mobs that sometimes are too tough. So it is being tweaked and rebalanced, but I do not know the exact detail for why those specifically or what was the problem with them. That's really a decision made by Adrift.
A small question, if you allow.
Yeah.
This is like a very small question. On the quest boards, on the task boards, will you folks add some, maybe I'm ignorant of this, and maybe the question proves that I'm ignorant of this, but still, would you guys add some named mobs to to the board? That would be interesting. I have not seen named on the
No,
board.
because we want to add much more different type of quests. So that's a work in progress. So we really have started with the easiest things to do, which was to create kill quests, because those were simple to create. We had the tech for that, but the goal is to add more different type of quest or task. Sorry, not quest. Let's use the right term. Task, not quest. So, for example, the exploration quest that we have added last patch, where you need to go to an area, maybe you need to do a little emote in that area, something like this. But we want to add much more. We have planned for that. This need to be worked on. The tech need to be created for a lot of them. Named, yes, it's an idea. I'm not sure if we want to do different name than the existing name, because I'm not sure about how we want to do, but the idea of having to kill a specific target, like a bounty, like you really have to aim that one boss, that's definitively something we want to do, but it needs to be something soloable. And at the moment, most named are not soloable except for the one in Ember Vein. So I'm not sure yet how we will do, if we will add extra creatures in the wild, or if we will send player into the Ember Vein for that. But this is definitively something we have been talking about and we will want to do.
A really nice creative idea that I have not seen too much implemented in other games, and it creates a lot of content between the players. For example, let's say a player. So again, forgive my ignorance if this idea is lax in certain areas, but I find it creative, and it's a big incentive for players to create content between themselves. For example, you go on the board. Let's say you need something for your crafting. I'm giving just an example. Maybe it's a bad example or not a very rich example. You need something for your crafting. You go on the board, and I believe this idea is not hard to implement. You go on the board and you give a quest to another player for something you need in the game.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. And this is something that has been discussed before. So that will probably not be part of the bulletin board quest, but it might be something that we will be implementing. Right now, it is not the plan for the bulletin board quests. What you will have for crafting and gathering are supposed to be something else, but who knows? At least this idea has been suggested before, and it's something that we have in mind and we have been discussed. So I don't know yet if we are going to implement it, nor when and how it will be implemented, but it's certainly an interesting idea and something we're discussing, because it will really fit Embers Adrift, in my opinion. I think it will work really nicely. It's engage more contact with the community and add the interaction we want. It also is a little bit the trade and crafting system. So I think it will be nice, but we'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really like one of the things that I have said a few times so far, but never in public like this, is the fact that you find an NPC in the game, let's say in the News Heaven, whomever is the lore master, he did a great job so far, in my humble opinion, because you find an NPC, no NPC in the game has a question mark above the head or exclamation point, and that NPC starts to talk, man, but it doesn't stop, and talks and talks and talks some more, and at, at the middle of it, you find yourself in a kind of a story, and at the end of that story, on that NPC that you could have walked by 100 times, you could have reached probably level 50 and never talked with that NPC. At the end of that NPC story, which doesn't even involve a quest, you find a mentioning of a certain item, for example. So I find that you guys have a really nice touch with NPCs saying stories in certain ways. So very this is meant for the player to explore a lot. You know,
Yeah,
for me that was one of the best examples that you guys have the flair, that you guys have the talent to create an immersive experience. Look, it doesn't take technology, it doesn't take high sky technology to implement a text in an npc that speaks about an item in the game later on, or small stuff like this. If added up, they can make a great game, in my opinion.
yeah, I totally agree with that. And we do have a writer composing really nice quests. I'm pretty excited about it because that's going to be a different style of quest than the quest we currently have in the game. So it will be really nice to see it implemented. But it will not be for this month. Might be for next or the one after that. We will see. All right. So I wanted to speak a little bit more about the mail system because I think that's a big deal. So the mail system is something that the player have been requesting for a very long time, and I've always said that it was the first step to a trading system. Not saying that we will be adding a trading system, but players that were asking, will there be an auction house in Embers Adrift? And say, well, we don't know, but before to even think about if we want an auction house, we first want to implement a mail system and see how the trading between players happen and organize themselves from that point. So guys, this is coming. It was on the long-term goal of our roadmap, and it's going to be released end of March. So that's another item that we're supposed to be done in a long term that is coming now. So I'm also very excited about the prop for the mailbox. It's a really cute mailbox. You will have to see. I'm not showing you today, but stay tuned, guys. It's good. It's our artist is really full of ideas. Very creative person, so I'm happy about that.
The way you guys did all the small things, even for example the fences in the game, you can see that a lot of stuff there is not really copy pasted. I mean, I see some artwork, pretty nice. I mean, the atmosphere in the game. I mean, if someone asks me, man, where do you think they nailed it the best in the open world? I would say everywhere, because when I first entered the Meadowlands, for example, it was quite a wonderful experience. You could see the mountains in the distance. When I first entered Dryfoot, the music there is different from other areas. It's very impactful. You actually have a freaking chorus singing there, which is like pretty epic, which announces stuff that could happen in that fortress over there, which Ali spoke about in another meeting. I remember. So you guys have something of a quality going here, and I believe you nailed the atmosphere. For example, that in Northridge, that camp with the crows. You hear some crows there when you enter. It's memorable, So you guys have proven that you have the quality to create a memorable atmosphere in which you do all the other things. But for example, if you do stuff but the atmosphere sucks, you sabotage the stuff you do, even if it's great gameplay. But you nailed it with the atmosphere for sure, 100%. Even in the dungeon, I told you before in a private meeting last week or 2 weeks ago, the dungeon music, you nailed it so great. Wonderful.
The composer that has composed our music is really, really talented. I really like his work. I think most people really come. I mean, his music has been mentioned in an article. I don't remember which website it published that, but it was like the best music of this year in MMORPG, and you had like, it was like a kind of little award thing, and his music was mentioned. So I think he really did a great job with that. We can compliment him again for his beautiful music, but thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, the artwork is amazing, the music, and obviously, if it's a small team, everyone should give this a break. I mean, look at what went well until this point, until this moment, and see. Look, every month you add stuff to the game. This means a lot of work actually for the team. As you started to read the patch notes, I realized, man, these guys are working month by month. They are not leaving it hanging out there. They have some priorities, okay, but definitely it shows that you guys work. So I'm happy to see that for sure.
Thank you. We will be jumping directly to the community's news. I would like to speak a little bit about the community. And let's see and discover another streamer.
The game doesn't have like quest markers or anything. You actually have to talk and read everything, like get immersed into the game. Actually, it's like people nowadays just they play mobile games. It's like you press one key and the game does everything, and you don't even know the story of the game because you're not getting immersed into the game anymore. So I think the developers has tried to do the opposite. So it's not every person's cup of tea, but I like it so far. The only thing that I don't like is that the attack is so slow with two-handed weapons. You're so fast, I didn't even get to draw the weapon. Oh, nice. You have, I think you have two swords, right? Yeah, no. Is that one? Oh, damn. Nice. Uh, 3 seconds delay. Yeah, you're faster than me. Let's test out this weapon. Nice. Yeah, it was really overpowered. It's nice.
So there's two things I would like to say about this clip is that first of all, it's always pleasant to see someone new discovering the game and sharing that experience live. It's always nice, especially if part of the team, to see someone discovering everything and being excited about it. And then what's really beautiful is to see our well-established player to come to new players and help them out. It's exactly what Captain Vatuman here explained. The community is very, very nice. And so guys, thank you for that, because that's you. You did that. And you are always helping out people, checking them out. When there's a new streamer, I see the same name in the chats, and you're giving tips, you're giving help, you're offering some new material, for example. So, Captain Vatuman, can you explain what was your first experience when you discovered the game and you were just a new player?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I said to myself, okay, let me not look at the reviews. Let me look at what I like, at what I search, because the majority of the people who do reviews are playing mainstream games, and they are. Let me put it this way, guys. To like games like this is like an acquired taste. It is some is not. I wouldn't say it niche, because this is a negative word that impacts the community in a wrong way. It's not niche. It's an acquired taste. So I chosen to look beyond the limitations of the reviews, because all the reviews were made from the first area of the game by guys who killed boars. Okay, you cannot make your mind on such a slow-paced game with mainstream MMO mentality. You just entered. So first of all, my experience was as I expected. No hand holding. I like it. The fact that I could connect with someone. I had some questions. I had some questions about my weapons, about the crafting. I didn't even went to Discord at that moment, but there was a guy looking for a party in looking for a group. I started to chat with that person. That person helped me, and little by little, I arrived at the main city. But before then, I have seen some, for example, mysterious NPCs appearing and disappearing like some ants. That was a really nice thing. Uh, and then some quests that you do, and you have a dungeon in the first area of the game. And I have been drawn in with some very friendly people there. And we have done the questing there. And even, for example, even if I forgot to take a certain quest, everyone went back with me to help me. Then we went back to the dungeon to do the quest. While in other games, I don't think people have this patience.
Yeah.
So I would say very patient people, and this game tends to attract educated people. So my experience was, and honestly, it continues to be. I really hope this game continues in this note. But look, even on the chat, people say um, uh, positives or negatives about the game. But the idea is, um, if you don't find a group, for example, you need to create your own group. If you're not able to even create your own group in an MMO, then you're part of the problem. So if you're saying, oh, I'm spamming 30 minutes for a group and I'm not finding it, well, that's okay. Nobody needs to do groups all day or stuff. But uh, if you come at the game with a positive attitude, positive stuff also happens for the game. For example, I also looked. So I remember when you, Elloa, I have said on the world chat, I'm looking for a group, warlord. Is someone interested to have me in the party? And I was going on like this for like 5 to 10 minutes. But then I realized, let me create my own group. And then I had a very wonderful group in a dungeon. I created some new connections with people. You know, the Meadows group, the Meadows dungeon. So I would say this is the type of game that needs patience and it needs nice people. That's the idea. So my experience with the game at the first, the feeling has not left me. So the fact that, for example, I like the pace, the feeling, the atmosphere, the questing, the people, the interactions. Even when you go from one area to the other is a small adventure. You can encounter something on your road that grabs your attention. You can do a certain loop, and in that loop you find a wonderful, very rare drop. So that's my part of my experience.
Nice. So I will take the chance to jump onto the conversation that is brought in the chat by Sir Valiant. And first of all, Sir Valiant, know that you're very welcome and thank you for your feedback. So I'm going to explain you a little bit what we are doing for the population. So we have a small community which has some nice aspect to it. Everyone knows each other. You have very little drama. There's no one walking on top of each other. So that's pretty cool. But it's also a very small community. So it does have disadvantage. It's sometimes harder to find a group, especially at certain time of the day where you have less population. We still does have a much larger North American population than European or Oceanic. And this is something that I really try to promote and to encourage, and it does have many reasons for that. But what are we doing, the company, to solve that problem? We work really hard on it. So first of all, we do have the free trial that has been created, planified, etc. We do have some marketing strategy within our means, because a lot of people are suggesting really cool idea for marketing, but it's out of price. We cannot afford it. We're not a AAA company, so you really need to get that. Marketing is extremely expensive. We have done marketing in the past, like classic marketing, YouTube ads, Google ads, with team of professionals that were specialized into our audience and so people that know what a MMORPG is, not people that usually work with Coca-Cola. So really people that know what they're doing. Yet it required immense budgets that are out of our reach. We cannot afford that. So we are trying and working on a different approach, which is more within our means. And that seems to kind of work, but all of that take time. So I know that last week I have kind of shocked someone, I think, by encouraging people to share the words about Embers Adrift. But that's how we need to work. We really need to work from that point of view, or word of mouth, and bringing your friends and reaching out the community that you already know. And we, the company, we're listening to your feedback. We are keeping and maintaining a vision while polishing, smoothing, working on it. We really do our best with our capacity, and we make the game as accessible as possible. And then once again, without breaking our ideal, which is to never bring microtransaction, for example. I do believe we are one of the only game on the market that has a free trial, an optional monthly subscription, a buy-to-play for the base game, for the whole game, and no microtransaction shop. I don't think there is another game that does that nowadays. Even the games with an obligatory monthly subscription does have microtransaction. So we're doing our best. We are working really hard on that, because for us, it's extremely important to have a healthy community, to have a player base that is not too large, but large enough to sustain happy playtime with everyone. Now, meanwhile, because that takes time to build up, obviously, what can you do to improve your own experience? And that I'm going back to Vattuman. When you are an active creator of group interaction, you will have much more success than when you are passively looking for interaction with other player. Why? Because very often players are either shy or they don't want to wet themselves in some way. So the people that take that in charge will be more successful.
Yeah, absolutely. I have experienced this actually. The fact that I streamed the game, and I always told the people in the party, no matter how noob I was, no matter how ignorant I was about the game or elements in it or gameplay elements in it, I still don't know in depth the classes. The skills they have. I still have to create more characters to investigate better the classes and the mechanics between them. So even as a noob or as an ignorant player at the beginning, the fact that I was able to stream the game, this helped a lot. I have also managed to motivate a guy called Annoying Llama to do one of the best videos on the game. So Annoying Llama, for example, took my example, also got inspired by my small example with my potato streaming, my limited computer in some regards, but he has done a major nice job. So this is the example, guys. Look, I'm a player, I have a real life, I come back home from that real life, log into the computer, I'm interacting with other players in game, and we are creating content, reacting to each other's content. I mean, for example, if you guys have not looked at the video of Annoying Llama, one, his attitude is hugely positive about the game. You can tell he's smiling all the way from the beginning of the video. You don't see his face, you only hear his voice, but you can tell he's smiling when he's commenting the game. And he has, stuff like this. So I have interacted with him. He started to interact on my YouTube channel, which is a very small YouTube channel, very humble. And you see, this is how it goes, exactly like Elloa said, from word to mouth. I interact with a guy who interacts with another guy who eventually ends up doing some videos. I'm doing some videos also reacting to some funniness or some situations. You see, so this is how the community spreads naturally. We are interacting to each other's adventures, period. And you need to have like some kind of innocence in this process, because I'm also feeling that the developers have some innocence in their approach to the game. So definitely, Elloa, the fact that people react to each other's content and this generates content. Look, I made a small review of the game. Would I, if someone would come to me, man, 10 out of 10, what is the quality of your review if you were giving yourself a note? Well, probably 4 out of 10 or even lower. I could have done way better the review. But the fact that my mediocre towards good, let's say, review managed to motivate another player to create a better review for the game. This is a good example of positive attitude put into the service of the community, in my humble opinion.
I agree with that. And speaking of which, I'm going to show you guys one of the things we have been doing to spread the word about Embers Adrift, which is a Reddit post. I am always super scared with Reddit. And Reddit functions in its own weird way, which is why this official post is posted from my personal account when I'm interacting in other subreddits that has nothing to do with Embers Adrift or MMORPG even, because I have more karma. So we cannot use our official Stormhaven Studio or Embers Adrift Reddit account to post those posts because we will not be allowed because we don't have enough karma. Anyway, so I have posted this post. The post, however, has been not written by me, but by the team. All right. So it is quite nice because I was really afraid that we will be teared down. It's on the subreddit MMORPG.com, and this is simply the announce of our trial for the players. So it's an invitation for trial. So I'm not going to read the whole post. You know already what it is. You know already that we do have a trial and that this trial is unlimited in time, that anyone can come and play the game for free. So Embers Adrift free trial unlimited in time on the subreddit MMORPG. Some of you guys have been answering this thread, sharing your own positive experience about the game with a very honest and humble take. There's someone, for example, that have said that, oh, I am the same guild on Elloa, but I've never interacted with Elloa, so this is my take, and stuff like that. We, of course, do have people that are doubting about the game or people that are negative about the game. I always try to be informative with those people and welcoming, because first of all, Embers Adrift is a particular game, so it's not going to be for everyone. Some people will not like it at all. And I try to be very honest with that. If someone enjoys Black Desert combat, there is a lot of chance that this person will be very bored with our combat style. But maybe not. Maybe you can have different tastes for different things and for different moods. So I'm always trying to explain things. So I've spent a lot of time answering all comments that you can see, the negative, the positive, while being informative. And, well, let's see the full discussion here. So you can see here that we had a lot of interaction.
Wow. But you just, oh my God, you just did the post like a few days ago, right?
Yeah, 3 days ago. Yeah, it has been posted 3 days ago.
And okay, you put yourself out there quite a big time.
Yeah, and but yeah, honestly, I've been sharing that on our Discord. I was very scared about it because sometimes people on Reddit are very, very nasty. They're not polite, they're not kind, they're eating you. And so I was a little scared about that. But I think overall, people were really positive, including the negative comment. They were not mean. So that's very fun, and it allowed me to really interact with the people in a respectful and welcoming way. I think that's, in all honesty, you may like our game or hate our game or find many problems with our game, and fair enough with that. But we, the team, are really honest about it. We are really doing our best with our means to offer a good experience to a certain type of player. And we are very willing to revise what we're doing, to rethink what we are doing, and to improve upon what we have done. And I hope that over time, with this 1 year and a little bit more of development, you guys could see that. And even if the result is not on par with what someone wants to experience, that they can see at least the merit of our attempt. At least that's what I hope.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you come from a point of inner honesty, nobody can defeat you, because you already know your own value, you already know your own effort, you don't hide from anything, you have nothing to hide, you present your own program to the people, and definitely it's in the hands of the people, it's in the hands of those who buy the game. Actually, I mean, you have done, let me explain to you something, guys. If a game is great, it doesn't mean that it needs also people that are nice, you know. So it's not always about the game, it's also about the people nowadays. I have observed how people are in the majority of the modern MMOs. The majority of the modern MMOs try to attract people that are not always the most nicest people, even if they are nice at the beginning. Because let me explain to you something, guys. If we form a guild, I get to know you. I will play with you 1 week. I will play with you for 2 months, for 6 months. Then I can say I know that guy. I cannot be enthusiastic about knowing you, but I did a group of 2 or 3 groups with you, and oh my God, how enthusiastic I am that I know you. No, it is a long-term experience, and if the people are trained in the modern gaming era to be in a certain way, to be very picky, to be hand-holded, the cash shops spoiled. So basically we have 2 types of players: the highly spoiled players will not like this game. If you are very spoiled with all kinds of stuff all around you, that the game tries to lure you in more and more with little stuff, you're not like this game. Because but if all the veterans, I have observed the 90% of the people playing this game and liking this game are all veterans of older games, have like 10 to 20 years of gaming behind them. So this says a lot. Have I met in this game a single guy that is not, I mean, oh man, this is my first MMO ever? No, this game attracts people with veteran experience, acquired taste, as I said before. So definitely it's not about the game trying to please people. Sometimes the people cannot be pleased at all because they are so spoiled. And usually people who are spoiled come from modern MMOs that have a very salty atmosphere.
Well, that's true what you say, but we do have exception, which is why I always try to introduce the game even to other players. For example, Annoying Llama. He's 25 years old. He has never played EverQuest before.
Whoa!
Yeah, I knew you will be surprised, you see?
Oh my god, are you kidding me? Annoying Llama? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, this is like really great news. He's one of my favorite guys in the game.
Yeah, I knew that will surprise you. So we can, I do think the game can please younger people as well, can please the younger generation or Gen Z when we say, etc. Maybe not most of them, but some people can be pleased. Some people can be seduced because some people will like what we offer. They just need to have the time to discover it, which is why I think it's important to welcome those people and try to convince them to say, yeah, maybe have this experience. It can be good for you. Maybe you like a more chill, more challenging, more group social oriented game. And maybe not. Maybe you prefer just, you know, sparkle and rainbows and fast-paced action, but not everyone like that. And some people like both. Some people want to play Fortnite and they want to play Embers Adrift. It can happen. It's paradoxal. Yeah, I know, but it's cool.
Absolutely. Look, even in the chat says, I'm under 30 years old also. I never played EverQuest either. Oh my god, we started an uprising here.
Yeah,
Oh
there
my
we go.
God.
Welcome,
When
guys.
people say only boomers play this, I tell that at least 25 years old play this. Okay, so everyone started to say, I'm under 30 years old also. I never played EverQuest either. Yeah, so it's okay. I'm really happy for this. Really happy for this.
Very nice. We have been talking a lot, Vatchaman. It was a pleasure. Now we need to go to the weekly game before we conclude the show. Are you ready for the weekly game? All right, here in the channel, weekly game. You can see the game that I posted last week. I was a little bit late, so I'm sorry for the short notice. I think I posted this Thursday night or Friday maybe, so you only had the weekend to participate. But it was kind of simple. You and your friend around the Ember ring with your friend, bonus if you use emotes, and 1 screenshot per player, meaning if you're with a friend, each of you need to post. So the first entry is from Marcus, which is sitting in in Grimstone Canyon, with Zazen and Alika, also known as Aluna. The second entry is Meek, and look at all those friends. That screenshot have been taken the last day of the alpha or the beta, something like that. It was a special event, and we had so many people gathered around. It's a very nice memory because you can see the old guild that were already there and the old players, some of the devs that were there. So very, very nice. Like Charlie's is the world builder, which is creating all the zone. And here we have Aluna posting. Aluna has been winning last week and the week before. So if Aluna win again this week, I don't know. We will need to ally and do something to ensure that Aluna is not winning again. All right, and Mazov, last entry, whoops, hey, to share your screenshot because it's really cool to see you all around with your friend, also in Grimstone Canyon. And you can see Mazov, Zanvinema, with all the friends here, a full group party that are enjoying themselves in Grimstone Canyon. All right, we have 4 entry. If it's the 3, it's Aluna again for a 3rd week in a row. So let's see, let's stem the luck. Okay, it was that close, Aluna win again. That close. But thankfully it's someone else. So who is the number 2? Let's have a look. Number 2 is Mix. Congratulations, Mix. You are going to win 1 lucky gold coins. I'm sure you're super happy. You needed that gold coin. But congratulations for your entry. And thank you for participating, everyone. Next week, I will propose you another challenge. So keep an eye on Discord. That's where I post the things. And there we are. Captain Vatcherman, it has been an absolute pleasure to speak with you. Do you have any words of conclusion to conclude this show?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me here. You have been an amazing, a very welcoming presence for sure. Thank you very much, everyone. It was really fun to participate in this community show, and see you in game. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And you guys, you can always check the show live during the maintenance. So right now it's a little bit hectic because Europe and United States, North America are not on the same time zone thanks to the time saving change. So it's not the same time for everyone, but for North America or for America in general, it's the same time, so nothing changed for you. For everyone else, please be sure to check out Discord to see how it fits with your time zone, because I do not know in your part of the world how does the saving time change. So pay attention to that. And there we go. When the maintenance happen, there's a community show on this channel, Elloa Wendy, and I will be very happy to welcome you. If you're watching this video on YouTube, do not hesitate to like, subscribe, leave a little comment, and share it with your friend. Thank you so very much, and hope to see you in game. If you have not joined us already, please take advantage of the free trial and come try the game. Maybe bring a friend or two and enjoy the game, explore it, and maybe it's a different experience for you. So take care and see you soon. Bye.